This 12-bar tune is built out of a series of variations on a triplet and eighth note based single note lick and a series of jump blues style answering chords. So let me walk you through the chords first, and then we'll talk about how to put the licks and the bass line together with them. So we start out, we're on E, basically a 12-bar blues form in E. So we start out on the 1 chord, but we start out with the chords a half step up with an F13 chord, and then resolve that to an E13. And so we've got the first fret on the first fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then we go down a half step, but we also go up 1 string, so now we're playing the top 3 strings. 1st fret, 2nd fret, open. So from here to here, F13 to E13. When we get to the A chord, we start out a half step up with the same chord shape to play a B flat 13 and then an A13. And then when we get to the 5 chord, we have a B7, a C9, and a B7. So bottom 3 notes of a B7 chord, they go up 1 fret, add in the pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret for the C9, and then back to B7. Now the way that we're playing them is we're keeping a steady bass going, and the chord hits are landing on beat 3 and the end of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 3, and 4, and. So we're also cutting them off, which again is part of the jump blues sound. It's almost like a horn section doing little hits or something. And so the first one, you're cutting off by relaxing your grip. Nothing's happening over here. It's just by not taking your fingers off, but not holding them down either. You play the chord and then you immediately relax just enough that your fingers come away from the fretboard, but they're still touching the strings. And then for this one, it's sort of a combination. It's basically the same thing. You just kind of, as you relax them, you let your middle finger also drape across the strings a little bit, just to cut everything off. And also at the same time, your right hand can kind of be landing on the strings as well to cut them off. So here, for the A chord, you can just do the relaxing thing because there's no open strings involved. So that's the basic thing that we're doing of getting the chord hits. And then on the B chord, it's a little trickier because we're anticipating the return from the C7 to the B7. So we're playing B7, C7, and then back to B7 on the end of 4. But we'll see that in more detail when we get to the actual turnaround. Now the licks themselves, that's the pickup and that's the main lick, and it's got a triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that this part in here, that's the triplet, and then 8th notes. And so we play that first unaccompanied and come in on the 1 with this hammer on, and then a lick on a note on the and of 1 on the high string. And then we're at beat 3, and there's our chord, and there's the end of 4. And now we use the rest of the second measure to play a variation on that lick. So we're coming down, and there's a triplet. Oh, no, those are eighth notes, sorry. The triplet is 16th notes, actually. Here's the chord. The melody notes on top, or phrasing this chord like this, and then getting rid of the fingers on either side of the ring finger to do this 16th note move where you slide up a fret and back without repicking the string. So pick once, slide, slide, pick the open string. So we have this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the answer. And you'll notice that there's a quarter step bend at the beginning. So use your pinky reinforced by your ring finger and maybe your middle finger too to push it towards this note, but not all the way, just towards it. And you let your right hand land on the string as you're letting go of the bend, so you don't hear this, but just this. So we've got the answer. Now we're heading up towards the 4 chord, and we do a slight variation on the pickup. So coming into the third of an A chord here. So hammer on, chords, and now a variation on the second lick. So we've got quarter tone bend, open B, and then slide. That's a triplet lick. And we've seen this slide before. We got a slide up, fast slide up, cross over to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, back to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, fast slide 4 to 2, open over the 4th string, and then pinch, hammer on, chords. And now one more variation on the pickup lick, going chromatically into the B7. And there's a quarter tone bend right there. And now we land on the B7. And there's the thing I mentioned earlier about the anticipation. So we land on a pinch here, 5th and 3rd string, open B, hit the bass again, pinch the C9, let it go quickly, hit the bass one more time, and then on the end of 4, back to B7 with 2 notes on the 3rd and 2nd fret. Last, another B bass note. So this is one measure, and then this is the next measure. So that's, but placed over the bass. So pinch, pinch with thumb, index, and middle. Pinch, slide, and that's, we've had that lick before too. 3rd fret on the 2nd string, pick the high string at the same time, slide quickly. Bass, chords, and it ends there. At this point, that's the downbeat of bar 12. You could play the bass, you could play the pickup again. So going around again. So that's the whole tune.